We interrupt your regularly scheduled holiday video blog for a political special edition. At the very last minute, I am going to a rally about some proposed budget cuts. At first, I was kind of clueless about what was going on, and I knew stuff was really scary and bad, and it is all over the country. But yesterday, I was at a advisory board meeting for Youth Move Maine, which is our youth advisory chapter for youth in the mental health system. And we really broke down all the proposed cuts and how it is going to affect young people in transition and a lot of other consumers with disabilities. And it's pretty serious. So in an attempt to be sort of the eyes and ears of the National Center, and also just to kind of understand what is going on at the state level, because you know what? I still live here, so I kind of need to know what's going on. So I am going to go with my mother, and I'm wearing my healthcare reform shirt, which is always a good political statement, even though people don't always know what it means. And we are gonna stop at Dunkin' Donuts because it's really early and it wasn't light out when I got up. And we are off to see how all this is gonna go down. And that's gonna be interesting. People are gonna tell their stories and give hearings about how they're gonna be affected by the cuts. A lot of programs, and I'll talk more about that later, and you'll hear more in the upcoming footage. So stay tuned, and I'll be back with more. The last rally we went to was Lady Gaga talking about Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I know this won't be that fun, but hopefully it'll be impacting and make a little bit of a difference. So, more later. Bye. We're here, but it's really dead. So we're gonna go inside and see, because this is not like the last rally we went to at all. But hopefully there's something. We shall see. There's definitely not a lot of people here, but it's early still, so I guess the rally starts at 10. We are working on filling out public comment forms because we're not actually testifying, but I have some things to say, as I always do, so we will we'll fill that out and see who approaches us next. It definitely filled out and is getting very interesting. There's people with a lot of signs and some supporters. These are the people I wish I had the courage to talk to, but I don't. This is my mom discussing the cuts with the LePage supporters.
Excellent operate this department. Now you have to justify why you need this amount of dollars to operate your department. But it's starting off by adding more taxes on people. That's basically
Well, what do you feel about the residential
I have absolutely recognized I have a multitude of friends that actually
no notice, with very short time frame to tell people what's going on, with very limited knowledge of the actual details of the impact of these cuts. We are here by the hundreds because we believe that these cuts are unacceptable and that Maine can do better. Before we start, I just would like us to have a moment of silence, and I'm going to light a candle for the people who couldn't come here, but for all who are sitting in their homes frightened, people who are scared that they are going to have nowhere to live, that they are going to not have the services that enable them to stay independent in their communities and to be part of the fabric of our beautiful Maine life, people who are scared, who don't know where to go, who will have nowhere to turn if these cuts go through. So I'm going to light this candle for them now in the season of light, and we're going to just ask us for a moment of silence to just send out our good energy, send out our heart's thoughts to the people who are afraid and frightened. Today, we are in a unique situation in which the facts of these cuts and our hearts are in the same place. Today, we know that the facts about what cuts of this magnitude, $120 million, matched by hundreds of millions of federal dollars, what will do to Maine's economy to take $500 million out of our economy. The facts tell us that that is wrong. Our hearts tell us that we are Maine people who care about our neighbors, and we will not walk over bodies to get into our homes and to get to our work and to get to our jobs. The facts tell us that 6,000 frail, elderly, disabled people who are currently living in residential homes, that it's cheaper and more effective and more realistic and something that people want to live in those kinds of homes that we've developed over the last 30 years. And it's cheaper and more effective. That's what the facts tell us. And our hearts tell us that Maine people will not allow 6,000 people to end up on the streets on July 1st. The facts tell us that early intervention for young children who get Head Start services make them far more successful and far more contributing members of society as they grow up and become elders and become contributing members of our society. That's what the facts, the information, the science tells us. Our hearts are not going to let little children go with the services, without services that will help them be successful human beings and children in our schools. The facts and the hearts, our hearts are in the same plane. We are in the same place for one of the most unique times in Maine history. We are at a crossroads. Today, the decisions that are made over the next month will really determine and tell the rest of the state and the nation and the world what kind of people we are. And we know that we are kind, compassionate, caring people, and we know that this proposal is not good. We know that we can do better.